Coming up on the show, we've got the latest Cowboys injury news. Dallas has allowed their spin to be put out there by media. We'll talk Dan Quinn to the Raiders as a possibility and the potential Tony Pollard breakout game. But first, injury news. Let's go to Tyron Smith, the big one this week. The Cowboys' new, maybe plan is for Tyron Smith to do the walkthroughs. He did them on Wednesday, did them on Thursday, do it on Friday, and then practice on Saturday, hopefully, and then play the following day, which I find very interesting and curious because this does not pass the smell test for me. You're telling me he was a last-minute scratch last Sunday, and now it's hopefully practices on Saturday. I don't believe them when it comes to injuries, especially not Tyron Smith, since, remember, they once told us, oh, the knee was fine. Oh, the hamstring came off the bone and it exploded. I have a tough time believing them when it comes to injuries involving Tyron Smith. So I do not know if he's going to play. I hope he does, but this kind of went from he's not going to practice Wednesday, okay, he'll go Thursday, to actually, no, maybe Saturday. Don't love that. Don't love that. Chuma Edoga, meanwhile, was the only change that was maybe negative from the Cowboys' Thursday injury report. So Kearse kind of broken, maybe. He was limited again. However, they did add a knee issue to the injury report, not just that low ankle sprain that he seemingly can play through. I don't know if that's a bad thing or if it just is a neutral thing. If they hadn't added the knee, would have been the Kearse was broken. Now, hopefully it's just nothing serious there, because if Tyron can't go and Edoga can't go, probably going to be Austin Richards over there at left tackle, who wasn't bad, hasn't been bad when he's played. I also don't think he's ready. I think he needs more time. He needs some more time in an NFL weight room. And oh, by the way, this Eagles front is terrifying. Reddick, Sweat, Graham. They've barely played first-round pick Nolan Smith. They got dogs everywhere. I'm worried enough with Tyron out there, with Edoga out there, let alone a fifth-round rookie who has not played that much in his NFL career. So if you want Tyron Smith out there, type me in the comments section. Let's send the good vibes to get Tyron back for a pivotal NFC matchup against Philadelphia. All right, more injury news. This stuff all positive. Michael Gallup back at practice, missed Wednesday with an illness, was a full participant today. He'll be good to go. Jayron Kearse battling a toe issue. He was a full participant on Thursday as well, so he's going to be good to go. This is the one I was going to monitor because I think we knew Tyron wasn't going to do that much, if anything. We knew that kind of after McCarthy's press conference earlier Thursday morning, and now we do have confirmation that Kearse is good to go. So overall, your current concern level over the Dallas Cowboys injuries. Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1, the low end, 10, the high end. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Let's talk some rumors there. This is the headline from the Dallas Morning News. The Cowboys already made their trade, right? No. Wrong. I'm not standing for this spin that's coming out of the Cowboys organization right now. This was the headline from the Dallas Morning News. Quote, "Don't be fooled by inactivity at the deadline. The Cowboys made their moves months ago." I will make note, this certainly came from David Moore. No shade intended, but that is the preferred source from Stephen Jones. I want to make that clear. It's fine. That's not a bad thing. But this is exactly what we said the spin was going to be during our live show on Tuesday. They're going to sit up there and say, we traded for Stephon Gilmore. We traded for Brandon Cooks. We made our trades already. And there was some pushback of, this wasn't spin. It's fine. Yes, it is. It is spin. The argument as to why there were no trades, more on this to come. The Cowboys are light on draft capital. They traded for Trey Lance and Gilmore and Cooks. They have big contracts coming, all of which is true to at least a certain extent. But that doesn't mean it's a reason. It ends up being an excuse. And if the answer was we didn't like any of the deals, okay, that's fine. Don't use what you did months ago as a reason for inactivity when other teams still found a way to do it. I have more thoughts on this, a lot more thoughts to get to on today's show, which is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It is just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of other players, the pros, the sharks, the sharps. You just pick more than or less than. Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy, so your entries stay in play Even if one of your guys gets hurt, for football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half, does not return in the second, the player is rebooted. It's injury insurance. PrizePicks is the only DFS platform with the injury insurance policy. My picks this week, feel good about them. I'm still doing the flex play because I've been hot on the flex play. Got to get 2 out of 3 right. Feeling great about it. Joe Burrow more than passing yards. Isaiah Pacheco more than yards on the ground. And CeeDee Lamb more than receiving yards because life's too short to take less than. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comments and the description. Again, that's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Here was the additional arguments laid out from the Dallas Morning News. This is a good team, a very good team. A deal Tuesday may, emphasis on may, have enhanced the Cowboys' chances this season. The fact that Dallas failed to make a deal doesn't diminish those chances. The Cowboys remain one of the best teams in the NFL. The heavy lifting was done well before Tuesday's deadline. It's that last line that really pisses me off. Because yes, a deal would have helped your chances. Yes, it would have. Come on. We're going to sit there and say, oh, no, it had no impact. Come on, it does. Might not make a massive difference, but it does make a difference. And there is a difference between shouldn't or didn't want to or whatever and couldn't. Claiming the Cowboys couldn't is spin, and it's also wrong. Are you mad the Cowboys didn't make any trades at the deadline this year? There are reasons why, and there are excuses why. Are you mad? Y for yes, N for no. I am not mad, even though maybe I sound a little bit mad right now, but I'm a little bit sad. And frankly, I'm actually insulted that this is the spin the Cowboys have sent our way here. The one deal that kind of irritates me that actually went down, I'm not going to blame the Cowboys for not trading for a player who did not get moved, was the Ezra Cleveland deal. Jerry Jones says, you know what, we would love to get some more offensive linemen. Everyone wants offensive linemen, though. And then a starter gets dealt for a 6th. And I know, you have no 6th-round picks. You have future 5s, though. You could have traded away one of those. It's a 5th. Who cares? Ooh, you traded away a future Josh Ball. Oh, no. What are you going to do? Cleveland, maybe they didn't like Cleveland. But Cowboys also weren't working the phones that much. So what are we doing here? We talked about Cleveland on this show. Like, I doubt he's available, but you should call. Ended up he was available and went super cheap. That's the one that bothers me. That's the one that annoys me. And I hate this spin from Dallas. It is insulting to our intelligence for the Cowboys to sit there and said, oh, no, you know what? We made our moves. We traded for Cooks and Gilmore. Okay, you did. And we love those moves for the reasons we're seeing right now they've made already plays for you. But you cannot count the trades as your pre-free or your free agency offseason moves and then try to all say, oh, those were our deadline deals too. You know why that doesn't work? Because if we're counting these trades as our deadline deals, they did jack shit again in free agency. They signed 3 dudes. It was Ronald Jones, Chuma Edoga, Trent Sieg, long snapper, great. Running back who got cut and suspended. 6th offensive lineman. That one's actually worked out a little bit decently. They spent the vet minimum on all 3 guys. So you cannot say, well, we're going to get the credit for the free agency moves and also deadline. You pick one. You can't choose both. That's ridiculous. It's not how it works, guys. Not fair. It's not how other teams operate. All the other contenders in the NFC made a deal in some capacity. You didn't. That's fine if you didn't want to. You didn't find the value. Don't sit there and say you couldn't. That's lying, man. Come on. Now, if you are a diehard Cowboys fan, then subscribe right now to the Cowboys Report. We'll be live for the Cowboys-Eagles game this Sunday. Should be a blast. Hit that sub button right now. Let's go to more rumors here. How about Dan Quinn to the Raiders? I'll give it 2 stars. Waffled about going to 1 here. I don't know if this is the fit here. The Raiders correctly, by the way, as I'm sure you all saw, fired Josh McDaniels, and the blogs, the reporters, the replacements list, a lot of them feature feature Dan Quinn. Understandably so. He's going to be one of the top contenders in what, by the way, looks like a pretty intriguing crop of coaches, both offensively and defensively minded. McDaniels lasted 2 years. He sucked. I don't know, however, if the Vegas job is the one that Quinn is looking for. It's not in a great spot right now organizationally. He might look to go somewhere else, including, of course, Dallas. So will Dan Quinn be the Cowboys head coach in 2024? A for yes, B for no. Get those predictions in the comments section. Let's talk Tony Pollard. Breakout game coming. He's trying to speak it into existence, so I'll support you, TP20. I'll give it 3 stars, even though I'm not sure it happens this week against Philadelphia. It'll happen at some point, though, I hope, for this offense overall. Pollard's trying to speak it into existence. He and the ground game as a unit have not produced very well this season. Frankly, I would say it's mostly, not entirely, mostly an offensive line issue. And that's, you've made some tweaks and schematic stuff and it hasn't clicked yet. And all these times you've missed, these holes and you've made these changes. I think you've missed the chemistry of the O-line too. Here's what Tony said. It's coming. I just know it is. Speak it into existence. Love the mindset. Pollard's numbers are down. There's no way around it. This is a not normal season out of Tony Pollard. He's been a pretty consistent 5-yard per carry back here, but he's averaging under 4 yards a carry. He's been up and down this year. The last 5 weeks, better against the Rams. Only 12 carries. They cooked to the air. It's fine, but 4.4 yards per catch. Not great yards on the ground against the Chargers, but he had a great 60, I think it was, yard catch, that matters. Stuff helps. Niners game didn't do that much. Patriots game was better efficiency. Great against the Cardinals, although the offense sputtered out in the red zone because the 3 backups had some bad blocks in the red zone there. Got to get Pollard going. I'd like to see some more Dowdle, by the way. I think it's predominantly a schematic thing, and I don't know if that's going to be an overnight fix for the Cowboys. One more note before we go. Brandon Aubrey is not just the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week, he's also the NFC Special Teams Player of the Month. Let's go, Brandon, LGB, in the comment section.